We're crossing over to my colleague Pragya, who's been tracking all of the developments in connection with the passage of the Waqf Bill. Pragya, as far as the sentiment is concerned, we've listened to some of what the opposition had to say. There's also a tweet from the Prime Minister saying that this bill will particularly help those who have long remained on the margins, thus being denied both voice and opportunity. So this is obviously being hailed by the centre. Of course, they're the ones who have been pushing this forward. Let us know about the merits of the bill and what kind of changes we're going to be seeing now that it's been passed.
Well, there is changes in the composition of Waqf Council and also Waqf boards. Remember, there were no non-Muslims, and this is an administrative body, is what the government have told the opposition, that it should not be confused with any religious bodies. They are not meddling with the composition of mutawallis. They are not meddling with who is going to do the work. They are just saying that if you are a true Muslim, only then you can do work, and that is why the clause of practicing Muslims of 5 years should be able to do work, and no one else should be able to do work because the intent of the work is also another question, and there have been many complaints that have been received by the center and about the land grabbing deals on in name of work. So government has made sure that there is a clause that if you are a practicing Muslim of 5 years, only then you can do work. Secondly, the composition will have now women also in council as well as in board. That will ensure participation of women, and also the rights of the women was stashed away. When someone does work, there is also inheritance right of women and children in that. So unless they also agree, you cannot do work. So in a way, their rights are protected. Apart from that, there are two Muslims who are going to be, they could be MPs, ex-MPs, because being ex-MPs does not mean that you have to be a Muslim to be part of that, because it's an administrative body who will look after the management and effective digitalization of the records of the Waqf properties. In a way, government will ensure that if there are grievances, these can be addressed. Third, a very big change that has been made is that anyone who has grievances against any Waqf deal, they can approach High Court. Earlier, tribunal used to be the final say. Now, in certain and in exceptional cases, you can approach High Court. But it seems that the way is open for everyone who has any problem with any of the Waqf property deal. They can approach High Court in there. Apart from that, there are Sunnis, Bohras, Aga Khanis. They have been sidelined in this Waqf properties. Now they are also part of it, and they can also form their own trust. Secondly, there was a demand by the opposition that collector should not be the surveyor or the main authority. Now the government agreed to the demand and said that there is, if any official who is above the rank of the secretary could be joint secretary in the state. The state can also have their own person in place to look after the land deals, Waqf deals, everything, and management of the Waqf land. So these are major changes that have been made to ensure that the marginalized are their interests are taken care of by these Waqf boards, Waqf properties. And not just that, there should be no division within the ranks in the Muslims. The downtrodden, the underprivileged women, they all get their share when it comes to Waqf, and it should be put to use, for which it will be which is done by many Muslims.